Yeah, we're getting chased by vampires. We got some lore stuff about Evie and her father.
Mm-hmm.
She had a talk with the group of like, hey, so this is going down, going to Antarctica, I believe.
Yeah, he
Right?
got lost in Antarctica.
Yeah, she wants to go find him. I assume after all this is done. And she's going
Eventually,
with,
yes.
yeah, and she's gonna go there whether or not we come with her. Right?
There will come a day when Evie will go.
Yep. And then the other thing is we're heading to the museum to find these vampires.
Yep, find vampire info.
And Elaine had a little bit of a mind meld going on
Yep.
about the thing that Amy typed in chat that I can't pronounce.
Nastarlatep. Right?
Yeah, Nyarlathotep. However you guys want to pronounce it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I'll pronounce it.
Oh, there's something about cults with it, right? The vampires worship them, right?
uh, more or less, yes.
And we had a nice fun. What Nathan did the entire time is gear up,
Oh yeah, we got weapons. We got toys.
which are good, but also to varying degrees of untrained
Oh,
for most of the
right,
group.
right, right. I forgot I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna move some skill points. What
Yeah.
was I gonna move skill points from? Spot hidden? Was that what I was gonna do? Yeah.
Hold
Spot
on.
hidden to swim. Yeah, that'll work.
As long as you're aware that spot hidden is going to come up a lot more than swim will.
Look,
I have a good spot hidden though.
Okay.
it makes sense that Evie would be a decent swimmer.
You're right, you're right. As long as you sign the waiver.
See, the thing is there's a lot of things in here that come up with a certain amount of regularity, but we do not have the points to be good
Mm-hmm.
in those things. So we
Nice.
have
Mm-hmm.
to pick and choose.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense. Alright, so where are you guys now? I assume you guys pick up the next morning at Laura Price's place.
Yeah, it was already
Having
next morning, and we were
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
head
yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah. Any last minute gear you guys want to get?
Do we need to roll luck?
Yes. Luck checks. Keep forgetting.
Look.
Oh, right. I
Oof.
have new dice I can use for this. All right, that's 38. Let's see. Was that a failure or a pass? 38 is
Pass.
a success. Okay.
Mm. And
Right.
then
I
just
shouldn't use that for the system because the system has weird math I don't understand.
alright.
And we
So
only do a d10 if we fail.
Yes.
yep.
Okay.
So Elaine, you get 1d10.
Yay. Hey.
Hey,
Solid 50.
let's go. Alright.
And I'm pretty sure that I have grabbed everything that I saw in the like items shit
Mm-hmm.
for weapons and possessions at this point. So short of things that I think of, like yeah, Nathan would have it in the moment. I'm good.
Okay. Oh shit.
Proud I have an actual inventory now.
Let's fucking go.
What session number is this? Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Something. In the double digits. You're not in initiative, Evie.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I just, my hand slipped.
I mean, do you want to be?
No. I think
Stop
I'm
picking
good.
fights, Evie.
Okay. All right. Sure. Sorry. Some of the ice cream went down the wrong pipe.
It's ice cream.
Listen, I need to have ice cream before I get spooky. It's the only way I can get spooky.
That doesn't sound correct.
I feel like that's incorrect as well.
Sometimes I lie.
People
I
do
may
that?
have just wanted ice cream.
They just go onto the internet and they
And lie?
tell lies to their
Lie?
friends. Wisteria would be very disappointed in you.
Wisteria's gonna have a rude awakening very soon.
Look, she already likes gambling. Her backslide has begun.
Good for her.
It's not a backslide, it's climbing. It's learning. Progressing as a person.
Progressing into what?
Somebody with a backbone.
Fair.
She's progressing into the person that she wants to be. The person we know she can be.
Somebody with a backbone.
The kind of person that socks her sister in the throat.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Favor's down for that.
Love that for her.
I mean, to be fair, I think Rose would also join you in that if you needed her.
See, what it is we have to get Wisteria to actually punch first, but then Wisteria needs the backup because the punch is just going to be shocking to the sister. It's not going to actually hurt the sister. So there needs people to be people that can actually do a little bit of damage.
All right. So, you all make your way to the local museum. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll say that today is actually a very cloudy day. It's really rainy. There's drizzle and mist coming down, but it's not raining as of yet. You don't see people with umbrellas out. You see them just with their regular coats, maybe even some hats. You see a couple of them actually using some newspapers over their heads to protect them from the heavy mist that's falling over. So it's not that bright out as you guys make your way over to the museum. It's also not that busy. It's morning time, but it appears that today the city hasn't really woken up yet. Or at least it's not in full swing. It might just be the cloudy day. Getting to everyone, not wanting to go out and get out of bed, just get into the rain. But there are some people that are getting out of their cars, saying hello, getting in and out of buildings. You see some people even trying their best to have a smoke break, probably the night shift, from different businesses that seem to have been open overnight. Now, as you guys make your way towards the museum, you see that it's not as busy as you thought it would be. It's open. You see some people trickling in and out. but you would probably guess there'd be about 20 people around the front, but there's only like 4 going in. Seems to be a slower day. But the museum is open if you all want to go inside. Unless you guys have another idea of how to get inside.
I think you're thinking of the wrong campaign, Amy.
I'm just double checking. I cannot. I assumed y'all would just go in like normal. However, I've learned I can't assume shit from you guys.
This group has very few sneaky bones.
Yeah, I know, but that wouldn't stop you guys from trying.
Ethan
Got
would
a
stop
point
people
there.
from trying.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Ethan's like, it's the fucking middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you trying to do scaling a wall? Go in the fucking front door.
Now, are you guys going to be leaving your firearms in the car? Because some of them are going to be pretty hard to hide.
Yes, but there's also no metal detectors in this time period.
There aren't.
I also assume Rebecca has her badge, so she is not leaving her firearm in the car. She will leave the grenade, though.
I think Nathan can sneak
Oh,
a
so
few
yeah.
things in.
You guys can definitely hide like a pistol or a handheld, that kind of size, on your person. But sneaking in something larger might require some stealth check to see how well you can hide it.
I mean,
Grenades could also be something smaller. If it's larger than like your forearm, I'd like to hear how you want to hide it.
I'd like to see somebody fucking try to take Nathan's shillelagh.
I mean,
That's
his
his
walking
stick.
stick?
That's
Yeah.
his stick.
Mm. Stick is fine. However, trying to patrol the museum with a fucking rifle slung over your shoulder is going to get the security guard's attention.
My Second Amendment.
Nathan's going in with a knife, a shillelagh, and some brass knuckles.
Okay.
Evie will leave her rifle in the car.
Elaine will leave her shotgun in the car, but can she have a like her pistol under her skirt kind of thing?
She's got
Yep.
a Derringer like lady pistol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got a little pistol.
Pistol, handheld can easily be hidden. So can grenades. It's just the big uns that you can't hide.
If we need to throw a grenade in the middle of this museum, I'm gonna have questions.
I will also have questions, but I'm not going to stop you.
Can I add one grenade to this thigh holster?
Yep. Okay.
Just
Sure.
for emergencies. Just for
Mhm.
emergencies.
Mhm.
You never know.
Hopefully the emergencies don't include a pin falling out.
Yeah. Preferred not. Yeah, we have no reason to be all sneaky and shit. We're supposed to be here. We're just tourists.
Mhm.
Just average people doing average things.
Yeah.
Nathan's bringing up the rear of the group as they go in.
Mhm.
Evie is probably toward the lead, I imagine.
Yeah, imagine Evie and Elaine alternate being the lead, and then Rebecca as the official one that can flash a badge immediately behind them, and then Nathan at the back, both for protection, but also for like, I need to step up and intervene. He can see all three of them.
Elaine will be in the middle.
All right. So, you guys all make your way towards the front. It's not a long line, but there is just one old man who is selling the tickets. It's 50 cents for a ticket.
50 cents? Criminy!
All right. I assume you pay the 50 cents, or did you want to try and
We'll pay the
haggle?
50 cents.
Okay.
Evie wouldn't haggle about this.
All right. So you don't have to actually calculate 50 cents. You're just gonna take it out of your spending level, which is a thing that refreshes every session or every day. But so it's negligible. And you guys make your way into the museum. Where? If it'll load, that'd be nice.
Oh no, there's a map.
Alright, so the museum ground floor, it's not that crowded. There are a couple other groups of people. Looking around, you'd probably say there's at most 10 people split up in like 2 or 3 different groups going around looking at the place. And there's some staff members. You see some of them are giving tours, explaining the different pieces. You see some others are cleaning displays. Some of them looks like they're transporting things in crates to the back. There looks to be just the only guard that you saw was at the entrance, so you don't really see him anymore. It looks like he was very not paying attention. He was very distracted with his breakfast. So the only people in this area are you guys, other patrons, and some of the staff. You can see all of the displays are very well taken care of, showcasing different sections on different history and different relics and artifacts the museum was able to get their hands on. What you guys doing?
What kind of museum is this, Chief?
History museum.
History museum, alright.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. The guard just kind of let us in and then doesn't really give a shit anymore, right?
Yeah, no, he's over back towards like the front entrance. It looks to be on a day. It's kind of their slow period, so they just got the one guard who's just at the front door.
Alright. Well, can we see if there's anything in here that's like very obviously South American? Because we should probably start there.
Yeah, you see that there's actually a section. It's just a couple of displays. You guys can find your way. It's actually over in this top left over here, this area.
That is clearly a Greco-Roman mosaic.
Shish, Kira.
Also, I can't move my token.
Yeah, I had to drag another Nathan on to
Ah. I see.
drag your tokens on yourselves. Then
Sorry.
maybe you'll have to delete those.
I'll go ahead and just delete all of these.
Yeah, let's head on over here and take a look-see.
It's clearly Greco-Roman, fucking everyone but Kira gets one look. I'm sorry, what? Anyway.
See, now you know how I feel when it's like, what is this space shark based on? I don't know. It's a space shark game.
It's a space. I want to know. All right.
Which I do need to write that up for you. I reminded myself.
Yes. All right. Let's get some rolls going. I'd like everyone to roll spot hidden. And if anyone would like to try and read into the this displays, Jesus, exhibits and all that shit, I can take anthropology or praise. I'll even take an archaeology. I'll take a history roll. If you have any other ideas, I'm open to them.
Natural world?
Yeah, you can roll natural world.
I wonder. Yeah, if it's true. It's true.
All right. What sort of skills are being called for here?
Spot hidden first.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then like anthropology, archaeology, history, appraise.
Let's see. Anthropology,
Take your
archaeology.
pick. If you have any
Have
other ideas,
a little bit of history, I
Any-
guess.
Nathan requested natural world, and I was like, you know what? Sure, that'll work.
Yeah,
And
I
my
don't.
history is the one that succeeds rather than natural roll. It's me.
I don't think I could talk you into biology, zoology, or botany, could I? It's totally fine if so. Like, I'll just roll history as
I'll
a
take a
secondary.
botany.
All right. A.
All right, let's see. Hidden success.
Rebecca and Nathan are the only ones that succeed on spot hidden.
All right, you know what? This just fits. Elaine and Evie are too busy looking at the exhibit. All right, so first of all, for those spot hiddens, I just have one question. Are all of your tokens accurate?
Is this room also South American, or is it just this one?
I would say this one. Leading into this area a little bit. It's kind of on this back wall.
As long as Evie and Elaine are correct, that's where Nathan is, because Nathan's trying to keep an eye on both of them.
Yeah, I think Elaine kind of got a little distracted. She saw something like, ooh, this, whatever this is, this looks cool.
Okay.
That's kind of my thought process. She's lingering a little bit. Yeah, they're on a mission, but also
Museum trip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, both Nathan and Rebecca. I'm assuming that's also accurate for you, Cody. Rebecca is?
The token?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. While Evie and Elaine are both busy looking at their exhibits and reading the plaques and examining things, looking for any hint or clues to what's happening, both of you see movement behind. And you see a familiar face. Sort of familiar. Walk right past. Boop. You guys spot her for just 1 second, and the two of you recognize her as one of the people that were on the docks before she passes by and you lose sight of her.
Imagine Nathan. It's kind of like arms crossed, the very much like I'm not touching anything posture. Just keeping an eye, like looking back and forth between Evie and Elaine. I imagine they're both probably talking to themselves. And as he's like turning his head at one point, catches the movement and looks and sees her. And will look towards Rebecca. Because if her head turns too, he's like trying to judge her reaction before he just kind of grabs Elaine's arm and very gently tugs her and pushes her in Evie's direction with just a lifted finger and the very much like wait.
Rebecca would give a nod that, like, yes, she made the connection. And then so is Nathan going closer to over here?
No, he's kind of just like scooting Elaine down so that he knows where both of them are. And they are close to each other.
Gotcha.
So, like, scooting her this way.
To his other side.
Okay.
Rebecca will close as well on this side.
Elaine is a little surprised and feels like, what is the problem?
Nathan, not looking at her, just kind of like watching Rebecca as she steps closer. Oh, we want to go after her, or we want then to look at what we actually came here for in the first place?
Something tells me we'll see her again. Perhaps let's let the academics do their job.
Ethan nods and will kind of, not pushing Elaine, but kind of by just force of tall, broad man starting to walk, scoot her along. And once they are close enough together that he can talk lowly and both of them hear him clearly, of you need to stay close together while you're in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, of course. She is my research assistant.
For your safety.
Oh. Evie will nod, look back down at the display, but stay close. Doesn't make much sign of moving. It's a very, oh, I understand now.
Ethan has gone into like livestock guardian dog mode, herding the two sheep. that is his job.
Mm.
Do you think they'll try something? Elaine looks a little bit more tense and nervous.
Nathan, for his credit, I imagine, has the same posture as before. Now that he's stopped moving again. He resists the urge to look over his shoulder and just, there's one single, one shoulder shrug. Wasn't looking this direction, wasn't moving this direction, doesn't mean they ain't gonna do nothing anyway.
Let's see what we can get around here. She says to Evie, to Evie to, like, let's hurry up, I guess.
Yeah, Evie will continue looking around, but we'll try to get a move on.
Rebecca is going to move, like, here so that she can still, if DM that's okay, if she can still see the group, but also see like the lobby area.
Okay, so Rebecca, what you spot is, I'm assuming you're looking for her, or you're just trying to keep it just general eye out?
I think a little of both, like really just kind of trying to get more eyesight, but also keeping in mind that she just saw her.
Okay. So, Rebecca, I'll take another spot hidden roll.
Damn.
It's like a fucking hawk, this one. So you actually see that people aren't panicking, which is good. People are kind of just minding their own business, quietly talking to each other about the exhibits. And you do see her again, all the way down here at the bottom towards the door.
If I might point out really fast, Cody, are you on your laptop?
I am, yes.
On your sheet, you don't have to, but I don't know if you know. You see at the top of your sheet, do you see verbose as an option?
Yes.
If you click the verbose, when you roll, you'll have the things like we do that has the regular, hard, and extreme to help clue you in if you want to spend any luck to get a hard or extreme success or whatever.
Thank you. I clicked it.
And I just think it's a useful thing personally, so I didn't know if you
Yeah.
knew that about it.
I did not. Thank you.
Okie doke.
So when she spots her, she's gonna do like the, I guess, like cop thing of like trying not to like make eye contact while also maintaining visual contact of her.
Alright, I'll take a stealth or disguise.
Ooh, both are trash. Stealth is better. I'm gonna spend 11 luck.
Are you sure? That's a good chunk.
Yes?
Rebecca also has more luck than the rest of us.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Bite the bullet. Alright. 11 luck spent.
Okay. So, imagine that she stops and she turns because she feels someone staring at her, but a pedestrian moves and breaks line of sight just enough time for you to duck back around the corner. Lucky break there. But you see that she moves this way, going down this way before you lose sight again. Now, for Evie and Elaine, you both notice something in this exhibit that strikes you as a little odd. Now, I have success, extreme success, and then a regular botany. Elaine, there's something that you notice that you really thought you wouldn't see here. There's something about reputable museums and the fact that it's very nice to have actual authentic things on display. And a museum like this, it's not a shady one. It's a pretty good one, actually. So you're a bit surprised to see that some of the things that are on display, especially the things that are made of gold, these are fake. These aren't authentic pieces. These are, in fact, really well-made replicas, but they're still a replica. Now, that could either mean a couple of things. It could be the least likely option is that the museum's lying about having them. It could be a situation where another very unlikely situation is that it was stolen, and this is in fact a prop piece that the thieves put in its place. Or the more likely version is the museum does have the piece, but it's in storage somewhere and they have a prop in place of it. But usually there would be a sign signifying that of some sort.
Hmm.
But you don't see that sign, which is a bit odd. In fact,
Is
you
it
actually see a little bit of a residue where there was a sign, but looks like it's been peeled off.
weird? So is it like, I don't know, mandatory for there to be a sign like, hey, this is a fake? Like, is
Not
there any laws against it, or is it does it put the museum itself in like a more negative light if that comes out?
I
Like,
wouldn't say it's like go to jail mandatory. It's more like a, okay.
False advertising.
Yeah, it's false
yeah.
advertising. So typically they do want to have that sign up.
So if someone were to make a stink about it,
Hmm.
it could damage their reputation a decent bit,
It could.
especially if it were to go to the news or something like that.
Hmm. Now, for Evie, tell me, is Evie interested in history at all?
Evie, I think, is interested in history as a byproduct of how she grew up.
Hmm.
Spent a lot of time in historical sites and whatnot. But I think her real passion is for the sciences.
Okay. Well, some of these exhibits are really interesting. There's some really cool pieces from history in this area. However, there's something about a display in the next room that just catches your eye. It's the plants. And they have an exhibit about different types of plants in different areas. But you see in a tank that they have real, like genuine, sorry, seaweed for some reason. It's kind of weird to have that in a place like this. In fact, Evie, you look, and this doesn't really fit the exhibit at all. It makes no sense for this to be in this area. But it's also a really difficult plant to get a hold of. This is the kind of plant that only grows on like the bottom of the ocean.
Huh.
Like it takes its roots deep in the seabed. So getting to it is really difficult in the first place. But they have live ones here, not just replicas like other museums would have. But you see, all of the other plants are really easy to get, if not native, and anything that's more difficult or not native to this area, all of those are just replicas.
Okay, so everything that except this is a replica, basically.
Pretty much, unless it's something that's really easy to get.
Huh.
Hmm.
Evie will study that and note it down, but she's been told not to linger, so she
Hmm.
won't linger.
Hmm. Oh, and Elaine, one last little detail for you. The pieces that are just have the replicas as the stand-in, those pieces are the ones that are said to have been made out of solid gold and looks to be a weapon set of some sort. It's ritual daggers and tools that are missing out of all of these.
So you said ritual daggers and what?
And tools are missing.
Hmm. That could be problematic. She kind of mutters to herself a bit. Do you see anything?
Was that to Evie?
Yes.
Evie will touch her pen to her lips. Well, I did notice the damnedest thing. Do you see that over there? The seaweed. It's terribly difficult to get a hold of that kind. You typically only find it at the bottom of an ocean. That is genuine. But a great deal of these other samples are, well, false. Props of some sort.
Hmm. It seems like a lot of the items here are replicas.
Oh, did you find something in your area too?
She nods and like kind of taps the casing or like directs Evie to the weapon set.
Evie looks down on it.
These are supposed to be authentic, but they are not.
I say, someone is running a devil of a scheme here, aren't they?
Hmm.
Terrible amount of effort to go through for all that, though. I can't imagine where they found that seaweed.
Why would they put it here? Is this is not the exhibit to put it in, no?
No, and, well, seaweed in a history museum. It does beg the question, why are they displaying it, and what possible justification there could be for expending so much effort to extract it, and I imagine to outbid some of the natural history museums that were more interested in the sample.
Hmm. Nod, nod.
Amy, are there any fish that eat fat?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Evie stares at the seaweed, thinks to herself, I don't think there's any aquatic creatures that feast on adipose tissue, but I could be wrong.
Elaine puts her one of her hands to her chin and as she thinks before jotting down some notes in her little notebook. Hmm.
Shall we take a look and see if any of these other items are props or replicas, or if it's restricted to this area?
That may be best.
Nathan, we're switching exhibits.
Dathis has been, I imagine, only a couple feet away this entire time. He's looking around. He has some interest in museums, but not nearly good enough to spot things that are incorrect and false. He just kind of like tilts his head in Evie's direction and gives a little nod. Still kind of looking around.
We will
This
mosey on over to another exhibit.
This might be a weird question, Amy,
Mhm.
but would there be any benefit, I guess, from like taking those signs down of like, oh yeah, these are authentic or these aren't authentic? These are just replicas?
Uh, the most obvious
Like,
one would be having the real pieces not on display.
but like, I don't know this like IRL, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they do have the item,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think if it's actually on display or not makes a huge difference as long as they can prove that they have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It
It's a little bit to Z and Kira here.
so like them again, it's a matter of false advertising essentially.
Yep.
Of is
Nope.
there anything illegal about it? No. But to have generally if it's not on display, it's usually because it is either there is a threat or concern about it, or it is
Fragile.
usually being studied actively, or it's being cleaned and repaired. That's usually why they will take it back. And then they put it back on display because you might have somebody that's like, hey, I want to go to this museum to specifically see this piece. And then if they walk in and they find out that the piece they're looking at is a replica and you've not told them that, they can cause issues. So like there's really, is there a reason that a museum will purposely keep their stuff in archive rather than on display? Yes. And a lot of museums do have larger archives than what people know. That's why archival studies and archives are a job, because they'll just have like an entire basement full of shit that is not on display and has never been on display. Usually for the purposes of research or having a collection, or even like, hey, we've had these jewels out for like a decade now, let's swap them with another set of jewels that we have.
Okay, so yeah, then that leads to my question to Amy. Has
Mm-hmm.
this museum been under like performing? I guess, is there a way to tell?
As far as you guys are aware, no, it hasn't been.
Okay. Okay,
But if
that's my
you are
question.
moving,
Sorry.
I would like you to move your tokens accordingly.
Are we moving south?
Not sure where we're moving, but south makes sense, so let's go there.
All right. So stop you right there, Evie.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys turn the corner, you see that there is someone reading the book right there in front of the statue. And Elaine, that is the same exact woman you saw driving that car. Elaine's backing up.
Yep.
The slow step back.
Slow steps back. But no, that's the same exact woman that you saw driving that car outside Laura Price's house. And Evie would also, now that she has eyes on her directly, recognize her as, oh, someone that was on the docks that you saw briefly. But she just looks up and she smiles politely. And she does have a museum staff uniform on. She's got the fancy blazer that she's wearing.
Evie will, you know what? Let's see. Evens or odds, Amy?
Even.
On evens, Evie plays it cool. Nat one! Alright, Evie does not play it cool.
Alright.
I did not make a face character. Why the fuck do I keep ending up somehow as the face character in some weird way?
Well, it's like I was like Evie would probably try to keep it together here, right? But then I was like, no, Kira, you can't have your character be great at everything. You should roll for it. And so I did. I am taking an L. Evie looks at the woman, and usually, she's not she's one of these people who has learned the value of eye contact because it's been drilled into her a bit, and she's usually very purposeful with it. Catches eye, continues conversation, catches eye again, sort of re-upping it every now and again so it doesn't seem as if she's being weird about it. But when she catches this woman's eye, I think something in her clamps up a little bit, and there's just this vague, gooey feeling in the back of her head of something's not right here. Something is not right here. And if you don't mind, I'll play this off as some Mythos nonsense flashback stuff. She just gets this like brief mental flash of like the Corbett House nonsense and all of that. Corpses walking around or fishmen. And just for a second there, she looks at her, she's like, wait, gills, dead, pale skin? What's going on here? And she can't quite figure out what it is that's scaring her. But she finds herself taking a step back as well.
So you guys turn the corner, and she looks up from the movement. I see Rebecca is in tactical position. Nice. I just makes me happy. But she looks up from the movement, and as you guys look up and meet eyes with her, the two of you just start backing up. And she like quirks an eyebrow, tilted the head. But she puts the page down that she was in the middle of turning. And she kind of takes just a different posture, kind of just takes an elbow and leans on the podium in front of her. Is there something wrong?
I imagine Nathan has caught Elaine, who's kind of rested an arm around her. Evie is backing up too. And he just clears his throat very purposely, trying to get Evie to shake out whatever the fuck's going on with her. Kind of steps forward just a little bit. Nothing here. We will just wander around another section where well, forgot that there were other people around here. I hope we didn't disturb you.
Shakes her head. I'm gonna roll something. Okay. As you say that, she just smiles and shakes her head. No, it's no problem. Do you need a tour? I can show you around. I'm one of the curators for this section.
Evie will, I think, start putting pieces together and slowly start coming back to her senses. A tour, yes. I think we would love a tour. You see, I was just getting a little bit distracted myself. I'm terribly sorry about that. My manners are. I don't know what's come over me.
These two here are fellow academics.
She nods her head. And Rebecca, what are you doing back there?
Pretty much just like, I don't know, leaning against a wall or something, twiddling her
Mm-hmm.
thumb, um,
Okay.
trying to look inconspicuous.
Okay.
As Nathan introduces them, Evie will take a step forward, hold out her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Evelyn Chambers, by the way, marine biologist by trade.
She will shake your hand. And there's a slight dip in the smile as she makes contact. And would like to roll psychology to see if they can read what's going
Not
on
good,
over there.
boss. Just not good.
I've
Wait, did
got
you
a
say we can roll
10.
psychology?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's go.
If
Yep,
it's
that's
okay.
not good, boss.
I dead ass thought for a second there that Cody, you were being like, let's go to roll a fucking 83 because that would have been very funny. I'll help you give it a try too.
If it's
Yeah, that's
okay,
fair.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
So when Elaine walked in and backed up,
Mm-hmm.
she quickly turned to look at like the wall essentially, or like what's on the wall or something that's near, so she does not have to look at this woman and seem as if she is busy, very focused.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm. I'll
you're a
listen to that
little.
request, but only if you get a little closer to your mic.
Did you hear me or no?
I did. It was just I had to struggle.
Okay, sorry, I'll get closer.
Thank you.
Is this better?
Not really. It's about
No.
Un moment.
Okay. What were you saying, Z?
I was just gonna tease Iris, but we're good.
Ah. All right. Well, Nathan and Evie, she returns your handshake politely, and she kind of gestures towards her name tag. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Camilla. But Rebecca, from your vantage point, you kind of see that there's a little tilt in her posture. You kind of see that her spine kind of angles a bit. She kind of shifts her feet to be facing the group. She hasn't taken notice of you yet, but you know that she just recognized them.
Oof. From where Rebecca is, does she, like, can she make eye contact with any of them?
I would say you probably might be able to get. Hello?
Hello, we hear you.
Oh,
I
okay.
think you were getting feedback from somebody.
Ah. You might be able to get Evie's attention, but I think you're too out of sight of all the others.
Okay, she will hold for now, and just keep kind of watching in the wings.
Mm. No. The lady, now named Camilla, has shaken Evie's hand, and she gives a very, very nice smile that for some reason unsettles you, Evie.
Love that.
There's something about it, something about the fact that she looks so human when you have a good feeling she's not. Kind of just gets under your skin.
So, Camilla, did you say it was? Yes. I couldn't help but notice you seemed rather interested in this tome here. Perhaps we could start our tour with this?
Evie, hearing Evie be uncomfortable and not immediately word vomiting, Nathan will very firmly and just rest his arms around Elaine and kind of tuck her into his side. But she has to move and kind of drag her forward a little bit and just bump shoulders with Evie very slightly as he steps a little closer and into the conversation again. Yeah, I wasn't quite aware that y'all were allowed to be going through them books and everything. I mean, I guess it makes sense if it's the museum's book and you're a museum employee, but I thought they always picked a page that they liked having shown and nothing else.
Yes, it is a rather abnormal practice, although I have heard tell that there are some museums which hope to foster a sense of interactivity in their exhibits. Would this happen to be one of them?
See that she nods and she kind of steps back to the book. She beckons Evie forward to take a look at it.
Evie will follow, but she'll follow a little slowly. Slowly enough that, like, Nathan knows this is not Evie's usual.
Nathan's just gonna keep dragging Elaine along because he's realizing he is the most level head at the moment.
She gestures for Evie to stand at the front of the podium.
Evie
Wherever she was, yep.
will stand at the front of the podium.
And she gestures, she nods, and like, yes, we have this on display so that people can read about the statue that we have here.
Ah, I see. And just to be clear, is this a replica that you have out?
She gestures towards the statue. This, yes, it's a bit too heavy for us to take. But the book is not.
An original? How interesting.
That is because it's only about 100 or so years old. 100 or so years old, sorry. Blech. The book's only about 100 years old. It's not that old.
But you have no fears of the oils that might be imparted onto its pages, or creaking its binding, or any such concerns?
You're right. That's why we usually have a glass piece that goes on top of it, but I may have removed it for a moment so I could read it.
Ah, the call of knowledge. Yes, that is one that I know well. Evie will look down, start to read book.
It's talking about the history of the statue, the significance. The page is on the region that it's from. It's pretty normal.
What is the statue?
The statue itself kind of looks to be a person. It looks like it's someone in more, I forgot what the fucking year is.
We are 1920 something.
Yeah. I'm talking about like the 15th and 16th century. Sorry.
Oh, like conquistador?
Yes, conquistador era. Someone in that kind of garb.
I say, I'm struck with the urge to destroy that statue. I don't know why. That's not in character. That's not in character.
Don't worry, dude. I know. But Evie, this might make you happy, actually, Kira. The statue and the book are kind of talking about the disappearance of this one. As in, this
Interesting.
person the statue's made, the disappearance of him and his presumed death.
Does he look anything like Hugh Jackman?
No.
This is a very niche joke. Thank you, Z. Thank you. I got one. So it's about his disappearance. How did he disappear? Pray tell.
You see that this is a statue of Luis de Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
In chat. And he disappeared going on an expedition for a treasure, because obviously they have treasure down there, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously, right? And he went on an expedition and he never returned. And some say that he cursed the lands with his death, but other people say that it was a demon, that his death was good for everyone. Good riddance.
Just to clarify this real quick, the
Mhm.
book is about this gentleman?
Yep.
Okay.
Or kind of like the statue, where it is, the region of it. There's a section of that Evie's on right now of the history of the statue and why.
Okay.
Evie looks up at the statue. Well, it does seem he was a fairly typical chap of the time, doesn't it? Does this have some sort of special significance to you?
She kind of shrugs a bit. Every exhibit in this section is significant to me. But this one in particular, I have mixed feelings about.
Evie looks up at the statue. And why is that? Although, of course, a conquistador is a figure of very complicated lineage, no matter which one we're discussing. Can hardly be said that there was one that was purely good.
You see that she kind of taps her chin for a moment as she looks up at the statue, kind of thinking on how to answer. Well, he did a lot of bad, but he did influence history, so I can't be too mad at him. If you would like to roll a psychology roll, they can again, see if they can read anything else on her.
Don't forget to
So,
mark your successes if you get them.
yep, make sure to fill in the little bubble for whatever you succeed on.
Wait, what?
When you succeed on something in a roll, just click the little button beside the skill. It becomes important during level up.
Oh, okay.
But Rebecca, you're able to get that, like, okay, it's fucking obvious. There's something about this guy that's significant that she's not exactly telling.
Nathan, I imagine, is like listening to this, kind of reading little snippets of what he can from his side of the podium.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kind of look over to the statue and look it up to down, like head to toe, back and forth, and look back at her. Well, if you don't mind me asking if this ain't the real thing, what was so important about him to make him need to be a centerpiece here? Wouldn't be easier to just put some other things you might actually have in here.
Janet drums her nails on the podium, one after the other. Unfortunately, I'm not in charge of what we do and don't put on display. But I think that having him here is a good reminder.
Of what exactly?
Of history, of what happened, of what change can happen. Of how one person can change a whole village.
Oh, I dare say he changed more than a village, didn't he?
How is this lady looking? Like, what is her mood in the moment?
She's a lying ass bitch. That's her fucking mood right now.
She's
Yeah, she's not exactly lying. However, Rebecca, there's something big that she's not telling. However, Rebecca, you see that she is a little. There are, in fact, mixed feelings here. She's a little pissed off because obviously this fucking conquistador that she does not like. Or there's something else that kind of flips it in the other direction to make it not just be pure hatred.
sorry, Evie. We're gonna throw Evie under the bus just a little bit, but
Mm-hmm,
having
mm-hmm.
this lady like us might be useful, or not be as put off by us. Ethan will just kind of like look over at Evie and look her head to toe, and there is just a little smirk on his face and like an eyebrow that goes up. Yeah. A whole bunch of people your accents know a whole bunch about complicated histories, right?
I'm so glad because like that was why I was having Evie take a softer stance on this.
Fuck.
Evie will. She doesn't show any visual sign initially, and then she just smirks and looks down. Well, guilty as charged, I'm afraid. I suppose you could say I have an awful lot of practice when it comes to reckoning with figures like these.
Yeah, there's a little smile that kind of looks a little sharp. It's all right. Sins of the father, after all.
Oh, you're a curator of all this area of the museum. I'm assuming that means you have some sort of degree in South American history or something?
She nods.
And he kind of looks around and looks back at her. I'm assuming since said you had some mixed feelings about all this, that some of this clear hits pretty close to home to you.
She nods again. She kind of moves a little closer towards the statue, kind of looking up at it, before she turns to face you all. And actually, turning to face you guys here, Rebecca, you still trying to stay out of sight?
No, not at this point. Actually, she moved around to
Mm-hmm.
kind of catch eyes with Nathan. So she's not at this point she's not trying to stay out of sight of the woman, but
Mm-hmm.
instead she's like, I don't know, like are there pictures on this wall or what's this? Is this like a
Maps.
vase or something?
Yeah. Yeah, trying to just be seen, but try to not look like she's eavesdropping. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So she does clock Rebecca. Of like, oh, I didn't know that person was there. Okay. But she'll turn her attention back. Hmm. She nods again. You can say he's very close to me.
Well, even if you ain't the curator of this, like the a head honcho of this museum, this all hits pretty close to home to you, and you know a whole bunch about it. What do you think's the most interesting bit in this section of the museum?
She kind of tilts her head. Hmm. I think that everything that we have is interesting, but probably one of the other exhibits. Some of them have been taken down for cleaning. But what exactly has you all interested in this?
Just a little bit of touring around.
Hmm.
Ain't been down to Boston to see what all the academic circles have to offer just yet.
And is visiting the dogs part of that, or was that just sex?
Nathan just kind of like blinks at her and then tilts his head. You talk about last night?
She nods.
Oh, we were taking a stroll, and he like pauses and looks around very pointedly and leans forward a little bit. After, you know, can't keep a secret, ma'am.
She looks intrigued, leans forward slightly, as like, yes, I can.
We may have picked up a case of some fire water, I guess you might want to call it, on our way down. Forgot how strong this stuff is. It's been a couple years. And our lovely scientist over there saw a fish and decided she was a fish too.
Well, what was I meant to do? It was a halibut. Do you have any idea how rare it is to see a halibut in the Boston River at that time of the night? It was a magnificent specimen.
And Nathan straightens back up and gestures towards Evie as like that explains everything.
Honestly, I don't know how you didn't go diving into the river after that thing. Can you imagine if, well, once I was done with my analysis, of course, we could have used its meat for days. The size of that creature.
You can buy the meat at the fish market.
Well, I suppose you could, but what are they charging for halibut these days? I'll
What?
tell you. And then she quotes the exact current market price of halibut.
And the exasperation on Nathan's face, he does not have to fake.
So I'm gonna need. You guys are just lying here.
Not completely.
No, you're not completely lying.
Evie's not lying at all.
Yeah.
No. I will take a fast talk with a bonus roll from Nathan and a persuade from Evie.
Persuade, okay. What's my
Or charm,
persuade?
your pick.
Well, I know I have good charm. Yeah, I'm gonna go with charm.
Falling back into that eccentric scientist here.
The moe of being obsessed with halibuts.
Can I don't suppose a charm will work for me either. Or persuade anything but fast talk, please God.
You can roll either of those without the bonus.
See, here's so everybody knows how fucked we are now. Charm is at 15, and that's my highest.
That's the case.
Persuade is at 10, and fast talk is at 5. That's why Nathan's not supposed to be a face.
Let me see. Evie's not lying. She also has a fast talk of 5 somehow. The charm roll was successful. I'm trying to think here. I don't know if I could bargain with anything else here. Okay. Can I make a second roll to cover for Nathan? Can I talk you into Evie rolling charm as getting the bit over here, the parts that aren't true, right? And then biology for appropriate babble about the halibut.
Okay.
If you're okay with that, Z?
So that Nathan doesn't have to roll, or Nathan gets an extra die on top of the bonus?
Oh, so that Nathan doesn't have to roll.
If you're confident in what you're doing. Because technically I did pass fast talk last time I had to do it, but I feel like trying to get below a 5 twice is not going to work.
That's the odds are not good. They're not great. I don't know what they are, but they're not good. All right,
Less than
I've got
5%.
Yep. There we go. And I can. Well, I don't know if a hard success would be super useful here, so I'll hold on to that luck. A 46 and a 57.
Okay. So we're gonna put it as, because this is just charm and a biology roll.
Mm-hmm.
There is that air of like, wait, something might not add up, but okay, this part seems to be genuine. The frustration looks genuine.
This woman is going to learn all sorts of things about halibut today.
Nathan will also just like, as Evie is continuing to babble, and he feels the like semi-distrust, will look back at her. And you know, if you really, if you are having that urge to be going to talking to all them that have them nice shiny badges, we more than happy to get you a little bit of something to quench your thirst. That'll help. You have like he just kind of like looks at Evie and like up and down. Generally have some sort of whiskey something somewhere.
Evie will
Unless you drink it
look
all.
at Nathan, narrow her
boy.
eyes,
Oh boy.
say the halibut was interesting.
We're seriously going to be having this fight right now.
Evie just tilts her head.
I'm gonna need just one more charm roll to see if just offering her a drink can cover that. This is very amusing.
And Nathan's trying
Nathan,
his hardest. I don't know if it's being useful.
I will say, Nathan, you can roll up with 2 bonus die from Evie helping, like twice over. So you're gonna be rolling with a bonus, and you have 3 dice in that box.
You go ahead and roll first.
Hey! See
You can
that? I
spend
will
4
not
luck and
be
make that
doing that
extreme.
again.
You can spend 4 luck and make it extreme.
I can.
You can actually. I wonder.
It's only
that
it's
would be
only 4.
interesting.
Fuck it. Let's do it. It's 4. I've spent more for less.
All right. Do I have to roll as well, Amy?
No, you already rolled twice.
Mm-hmm.
For before, we'll just rock with Evie's previous rolls. Just pushing over. So you're gonna make that an extreme success. You guys are you just start fucking squabbling. I don't know how else to call it. When you just hear just a little giggle from her as she kind of covers her mouth a bit to not be too loud in a museum. You guys are very interesting. But I'm not thirsty at the moment, so I can take a rain check on that.
Nathan, like mid-argument, just like stops, closes his mouth, blinks, looks at her. We do apologize about causing a little scene. We thank you also for not turning us into nobody.
No, of course not. It's something just to have a little bit of fun.
Yes, we do have fun, don't we? But, as Nathan said, thank you for indulging us. There are quite a few people who don't understand the importance of diving after a sample.
That is not what I was talking about. Next time, I'm not helping you out of the river.
Fine. I can swim for hours, Nathan.
Rolls his eyes, looks to the ceiling very much like he is silently praying.
You can see that she kind of pulls out a little pocket watch, clicks it open, looks at it, she kind of tucks it back into her blazer. You know, there is something that I do have a favorite exhibit, but it's not out on the floor. It's something we keep in the back, actually.
Oh, why are you keeping it out in the back if it's so interesting?
It's for cleaning, repairs. It's taking a bit longer than we thought. But if you all can keep a secret, I can show it to you.
Evie's eyes seem to light up, and she smiles, and it's a genuine smile. Oh, we'd love that.
A secret for a secret sounds about right. Yes, we know the danger, Cody and Iris. Trust us. We know. But we are in too deep.
And I think Evie would go along with it regardless of the danger anyway.
Just imagine Rebecca is just tearing her fucking hair out as she's staring at this vase.
Well, with these fucking past psychology rolls, she's about ready to arrest the three of them for bootlegging.
You know what? That is funny. They're talking about bootlegging and a cop's right there.
Well, the cop's gonna have to deal with it. Because that was the cover story, and the cop went along with it, so,
That was very good thinking there, though, Izzy. Evie was being a little shit, but I thought that was a great idea.
But she smiles. And she makes a gesture for all of you to follow her. But she kind of raises a single finger up to her lips in like a, quiet gesture.
and Nathan will, like, take a step to follow and then stop. We ain't gonna get you in no type of trouble or nothing, right? We do not want to impose in that way.
That is only if we get caught. And I'm the only curator here. You should be alone.
Ah, see now, there's a woman after my own heart. Can't tell you the amount of times that Nathan has said something just like that, and I've said something just like that.
If you don't want to do...
say things like that because I am the one that makes sure that you don't go floating down the river.
Pout. No further comment, though.
If you guys do not want to see the exhibits, you don't have to.
Oh no, we'd love to. The both of us.
Is your little friend there, the one hiding? Is she also going to be coming?
We've been made! We've been made!
We've been made this entire time!
Wait.
Oh man. Yes.
Is she
We've
referring
been made this
to
entire
Rebecca?
time.
Huh?
Is she referring to Rebecca?
think she's referring to Elaine, who's not spoken this entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was referring to Elaine.
Okay, so we haven't been made. Rebecca's still incognito.
No, we've definitely been fucking made, okay?
Throughout this whole thing, Elaine has been standing back to back with Nathan, looking at this exhibit right here. It's really
Mhm.
interesting, very fascinating.
Yeah, no, she
And
was talking about Elaine. She wasn't talking about Rebecca.
Okay, pause. Above table question.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
Elaine is French.
uh-huh.
Does Evie speak French?
She does not. On her sheet, I only have Latin, I believe. Now, historically, it would make sense for her to speak French. If she had received the sort of, childhood education most people would, she would speak French. But I have English and Latin on her sheet, and I don't want to deviate too much from that because I feel like, I don't know.
Well,
I'm rambling.
we
We had
could
the sorry.
we could offer a bargain of like, could Evie speaks French just for the sake of being able to speak to Elaine and not necessarily use it mechanically aside from that?
Yeah, so the rules I changed for the
Mm-hmm.
languages is that you could know it's so you could know more languages
Oh, okay.
without using skill points.
Then yes, Evie would probably also speak French.
Yeah, it's essentially so regular rules, it's supposed to be a skill that starts at 0 and you put points into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um However, I changed it so that your first language is equal to your education skill, your second language is going to equal to half your education, and your third is
Mm-hmm.
going to equal to a quarter of it, and then you can raise it from there with points.
Okay.
So with Evie's education, if you want to have French be her third language and Latin be her second, her French would be like, what was it?
18 looks like.
Yeah.
Mhm. All
So
right.
passable.
Yes, she speaks decent enough French.
Hmm.
See, I want to lie again, but I also don't want to risk fucking having to roll a fast.
All right. What's the above table suggestion? What's the pitch?
Well, even if she knows that we were on the dock and was able to hear us at all, Elaine was exclusively cussing Nathan out in French.
Yep.
Hmm.
So
I
we
was
can
actually
excuse Elaine not really participating because we could say Elaine only speaks French.
Ah, yes.
Was that
That
what you were
does make
thinking,
sense.
Iris?
yeah, I was basically because I don't know above table. Do we want to go with her?
I don't.
You don't have to, but you could.
I want to.
Part of me doesn't want to, but then the other part of me says that this is our only chance to easily get to the back rooms.
Also, I just want to say, Kane got to walk off with a hot woman. Why can't Evie?
Both myself as the player and Rebecca as the character are vehemently against this. I feel like we're gonna get jumped.
Yeah, Elaine is honestly terrified.
Mhm.
So I was gonna have Elaine basically be like, "Oh, we have that appointment at blah 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 in French, essentially."
Mhm. Is there any other information you want to ask me above table to help you guys make this decision?
Well, it sounds like not going along with it is the prevalent view, so that's okay. You can try and get some more questions out of her and then run with the "we have plans" option.
Actually, it's half and half split because we have 4 people.
Mhm.
I never said I was good at math.
So, Rebecca, since you've been acing your fucking psychology rules, to aid some of the anxiety, she wasn't lying when she said that she's the only one here, the only curator there. Cody?
They're dead, Jim.
Oh no.
Alright. I see the mute button going on and off and nothing else.
Yeah. Oh no.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 Okay. Did I say anything?
No.
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 Okay. Well, basically, I said I don't know if they have fat sucking security guards. So just because she's the only curator, I don't know who else is back there. I think
She did say
what.
be alone, and that was not a lie.
Okay. So what Rebecca was trying to do when she was moving closer is she was trying to mouth to someone that wasn't her that we've been made. Like she's not going to intervene if you all go back there, but she's not going to go with you per se. She's going to hang back and be more stalkery.
My curiosity is killing me, though.
That could happen.
What? I just heard a growl.
What's the worst that could
Whoa.
happen?
That
I think was the line.
Yeah, that was Joe inserting himself to be the devil on the
Okay.
shoulder.
All I heard was the
It was very spooky though, so good job on that. Yeah, if you guys
Oh, go ahead.
go on.
I was just gonna say, like, Elaine is terrified, but if the party's going, she's not gonna leave them.
You
Like,
guys could also split up.
Yeah, Elaine
You
could
could
go stick
have-
with Rebecca, and Nathan could
Yeah,
go
and
with
follow.
Evie.
Yeah.
Would Elaine feel better away from the vampire, but also away from Nathan and Evie? Or
She'd
with Nathan
feel-
and Evie close to the vampire?
She'd feel bad leaving them with the vampires, is the thing. She'd feel guilty about that, especially if something happened. But she is going to be very stiff and quiet.
Oh. I think just for like the in-character thing, as soon as she asked that, like, what about your friend? At least to give Elaine an out of some sort, possibly, because we don't know what this woman can speak. He'll just kind of like look over his shoulder and look back at the lady in front of him, just like, unfortunately, the doctor's assistant here is still learning her way around English. Really only speaks French. I certainly don't get 90% of what she's saying.
Elaine will peek her head up at the word French, like playing along, like, oh, I know that word, kind of thing.
Evie will nod. Yes, Miss Bouchard over there is very, very capable, but does come to us from the mainland, as it were.
How many times do I gotta tell you, Europe is not the only mainland? You gotta be a little bit more specific.
Well, of course, Europe is the mainland, and this is the continent.
Europe is...
There's a quirk of the eyebrow from Camilla. They were just talking about conquistadors, goddammit.
I'm sorry. It's just I had to. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Evie is extremely posh. She has to be a jackass in some way.
Yeah, that's great. It's just so funny. Y'all were just talking about this. But she nods in understanding. And she does give a little smile and wave to Elaine. Elaine, it's not comforting to you.
Yeah, no. She
Force a
looks
smile, force a smile.
yeah, she tilts her head a bit towards Nathan went again at the word French. And then looks to the woman, gives a like a smile of I don't know what's going on kind of thing, but smiling is the appropriate thing to do here. That's what she's trying to play up. And she'll ask Nathan, or she'll ask Evie in French, like, uh, what's being said. What are you guys saying? Something
Evie,
important?
Evie will respond in French that they're just discussing some plans and whether or not they should go see this exhibit.
Hmm. Elaine frowns a bit, pulls out a little clock, little stopwatch, and will ask, "Do we have time?"
Evie will check her own watch, think it over, and let me think here. It's all coming down to this, ain't it?
As they are
So
talking in French, I'll pause for just really quick. Insert.
mhm.
Nathan will look at them, kind of roll his eyes because he fucking doesn't know French, and will look back at Carmela with this kind of uncomfortable smile of I don't know what they're saying, which is 100% true. Does she seem to be understanding anything? Is she intently listening to them?
No. She's not really paying them much attention. She can hear them, obviously, but there's no, intently listening. There's no spark of understanding. There's no following along.
Okay.
She does not speak French.
Okay, so above table, are we splitting or are we not doing this?
Let's just go and do it.
Yeah, we
All
are
right.
stalker cop.
We'll have a stalker cop follow along. Is that all right with you, Cody? Or do you want us to avoid the matter entirely?
And once again, we cannot hear Cody.
What about now?
Yep.
There we go.
There
Oh,
we
there
go.
we go.
Sorry, hotel Wi-Fi. She will scout behind. I don't know how to say that, but she's not going to go with you, but she's going to follow you.
She's gonna tell you guys, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We have weapons.
Mhm.
If shit goes south.
Yeah, seems good. So Evie will look at her watch, look up to uh, Elaine, and respond, I think we do have time, actually. If you're willing to make some in the schedule.
Elaine looks very uncomfortable, but nods. And we'll turn her around. Let me have her turn around, so she's between the two. If I can do my little. Why can't I switch? She's upside down. But yeah, she'll basically position herself between the two, slightly behind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nathan will kind of look over his shoulder at her, and look at Evie, and look back at Elaine. It seems like she will be joining us.
If that's all right with you, ma'am.
And of course it is. She's actually pretty cute.
Oh, she
Oh,
has her share of
friendly.
admirers.
Friendly smile.
Smile back.
Mm-hmm.
Not perfect still.
I'm always telling her she needs to spend more time on her studies, as a matter of fact, but she does seem to enjoy being admired.
Sorry. Sailor, it is not playtime. Stop.
Literally every time we're in a game.
No, it's every time when it starts hitting what's supposed to be stopping time. He has his schedule mostly correct. It's just we've started going over by more.
It's only
Mm.
10. 10, 15.
Yeah, it's only 10.
It's one time. Generally, he is 10:30 and after.
You know what? He gets a pass. Mr. Amy is not home.
He doesn't have the second human to entertain himself.
Yeah. And so he gets past this time. But with a smile and nod, and again, little shush gesture, she will lead you all down, and she's actually gonna go this way. All the way across, and she's going to lead you all. We're gonna pretend there's a door here. But into basement. And well, I lost my map.
That's an oof.
It's gone.
5-minute break?
5-minute break.
5-minute break.
See, Sailor knew. Sailor knew.
Sailor, did you delete my fucking map?
Playtime.
This bitch.
Gives me a chance to update. Shit.
I was a fool. I didn't save it myself.
So look at that. The correct Nathan token. A new one.
Hey. I need to get a lane art.
Why are you being creepy, Joe?
What?
Just ask
What
him why you being creepy. Coming in here and saying creepy shit.
Because I want you to follow
the totally innocent and innocuous person into the back room.
Whom we
Preferably
know
split
is a
up the
vampire.
party, and make sure that there's no way to communicate with each other as you split up the party, and don't worry if they take a long time.
It's not. Do I need a map for this game? No. Do I want one? Yes. I hardly ever use a map.
Sometimes maps are just good.
Mm-hmm. What?
Also, Amy, you're a fucking god.
What?
You are a goddess among women.
Fuck, I do.
Taking notes is so fucking hard.
Yeah, it is.
I am
Ah.
trying so hard to write down all the roles, all the information.
Ah.
Stream of consciousness. Stream of consciousness.
I'm trying so hard.
Doing God's work.
Dee-dee-dee-dee.
It's actually funny that, like, this note-taking style developed from my Call of Cthulhu game. I didn't realize that until I was looking at my old Call of Cthulhu notes. And that's why I write down roles, because it's significant, because I want to keep track of all of my roles and everyone's roles. So that if they forget to mark it off, they can just look back at the notes and just like Control F their character's name. Yeah, taking notes hard, man.
Through back.
Mhm.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and turn on Fog of War real quick. Don't worry about it. Okay, it's not perfect, but I lost the map I was using earlier. So, we're gonna roll with it. But I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Ooh, there's a canonical answer for what kind of demon Nualio is becoming. I did not know that.
What kind of demon was it?
Of rock.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Everybody back?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Joe, did you roll luck?
Me? Hold on, let me make sure.
God, I can't believe you're not in the roll 20. Jeez.
That is a 60.
Ooh. Wait, you might have passed, actually. Or you get 1d10.
Knowing
Yes.
Joe's luck, yes, he did.
Alright. Do we have an Iris and a Claudine? And a Kira?
Yeah, I was just talking like.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm back. Just sit down.
Cool. Quick break for no reason at all.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Not perfect, 1 for 1. But general vibe.
Where are we coming from, boss?
The top. So these stairs lead upwards. And that. Well, then we turn the grid off. But she will lead you all down the stairs, and it's a little dark. But as you guys get to the bottom, see that it goes into a bit of a well-lit area. And you see that area is pretty large. A lot of it is mostly storage, but there are work tables with different supplies on them. You see the very carefully labeled and kept exhibit pieces. Some of them looks like they're in the process of being cleaned and maintained. Looks like there's a whole table dedicated to cataloging and labeling new incoming pieces. You see there's also just a ton of storage and a ton of things that are just archived and kept down here. But she will lead you all. Oops. Ah. Sorry, Roll20 is fighting me tonight. To this table over here.
Imagine Nathan, as they come down the stairs, will just kind of like let a little hum. Like, see, this is why, as much as the two of you like reading so much, y'all probably should have ended up going into history like this lady did. It seems like y'all's bread and butter.
I had rather enough of history growing up, thank you.
You know, the great thing about history is that it never ends. We just keep making more. She takes you over to this table where there looks to be a giant, Thank you, Cody. Looks to be there's a big glass case over the pieces that are on the table. And you would recognize these are the pieces that were missing from the exhibit. But they're kept down here and they're on a very, very like soft cloth, keeping you from touching the hard table. And you see, as she steps closer, she kind of puts her hand on top of the glass case over them. And you all see that there's a bit of a shift in her as she sees the gold kind of glimmering in the light in the room. And she looks at you with another smile, but the smile is a bit different than previously. You see that her vibe's a little different down here in front of the pieces. I'm gonna go with this token instead for a bit.
Don't like that.
Oh, I love that for us.
Elaine, 100% in French, will tell Evie. And those are the weapons, or those are the missing pieces from above.
From the boat?
From above. The display above.
Oh, okay. So these are the genuine ones.
Mm-hmm.
Evie will study them, tilt her head. And there were replicas up above, right?
Yep.
You know, these do look familiar. Wasn't there something quite similar to these already on display?
That would be the replicas that we have. We keep them up there so that we can still have the pieces on display, but we can keep the genuine ones down here for cleaning and safe storage before we put them back.
What about these in particular makes you so fond of them as compared to some of the other things up there?
These are genuine artifacts from Peru, and they're actually made of gold. Solid gold.
Wouldn't that be a terrible material for a weapon, given how soft and malleable gold tends to be?
You're right, it would be a terrible weapon. I would never use these.
Were they for some sort of ritualistic purpose, then?
Something like that. And she just taps her nails on the glass again. Just looking away from Evie's eyes, just to look at the pieces again. I also just like the shininess of it. It's very pretty. It's nice to have genuine pieces here.
Must have been a pain in the neck to manage to get them all the way out here to Boston if these things are solid gold. I imagine them worth a pretty penny then.
Oh, these are priceless, not even mentioning the gold. It took a long time to get them here. It's good we have them with people who know their worth.
And what exactly was their use exactly, if you don't mind me asking? Works of art like these were clearly made with a reverent hand.
Kind of moves around the table, taking in all of the pieces, just very carefully laid out across the table. Her hand is still on the glass, nails still tapping along it as she moves. These were general tools used for different rituals. So they could be used for anything, really, but I don't want to bore you with all the details.
No,
Unless-
please do.
She kind of stops. She turns. She walks back towards Evie. Are you sure you want to know the answer?
Well, you brought us all the way down here. Risk your neck by getting yourself in trouble. Means you must want to be talking about them.
Roll me persuade.
Fuck.
Not just you. Also Evie could. Either one of yous.
Both.
Oh boy, persuade.
Would you like to argue for a charm instead?
I would like to argue for charm instead.
Yep.
Okay. I'll allow it.
All right. Oh, no, but we're close. We're close here. So I think, yeah, I can spend 9 luck on that. I think that's fair, right? Party?
That is your luck, ma'am.
Yeah, it's your luck.
Oh. All right, I'll spend 9 luck on that. Thank you, John.
Hey,
Thank you, Sailor.
Hey, Sailor.
Sailor.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, so I will spend 9 luck to make that a success.
Okay. So you see that her general vibe has shifted a bit, and you can see that it's kind of like she's become kind of protective over these. But she kind of leans in close, of like, are you sure? What does Evie say to convince her?
I think Evie says something like, the line was like, you wouldn't want to be bored with any of this. I think Evie will look at the weapons again, look back at her. You can't imagine the sorts of things that I've seen before. This is absolutely the furthest thing from boring. Whatever these are is very interesting, and what better way to hear than from an expert on the matter?
As you say that, she smiles again. This one's showing a lot of teeth, and unlike her other smiles, Evie, you're up close and personal with her. She has kind of entered your bubble a little bit, and you see full-on fangs as she smiles. I want you to roll me a sanity check.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out. All right.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
suspicious. Oh. I can't spend luck on sanity, right? I think I remember that.
Nope.
Yep. I failed by 3.
You can push it, though.
It hurts.
Oh, I can push it, right?
Right? That's a thing that can happen, right?
Yeah, you could push a roll. The
Right,
caveat there is you can re-roll it.
Mhm.
However, if you fail it again, the outcome is worse.
Yeah. Joe, are you unmuting to tell me to gamble?
Yes.
All right, I gotta do it. Then I gotta do it.
Okay. All right, Evie, you're only going to lose 1 sanity.
All right. I think as she approaches, Evie is just like completely unaware, right? Doesn't even register that she's gotten closer at all. She's just kind of vibing.
The potential danger is closing in.
And she's just like, "Oh, we're having a nice spirited academic discussion. This is great. Why would anybody find this odd? This closing in of space?" And then she sees the fangs and she's like, "Oh, That's unusual. I think it stays at that's unusual for her, though.
Just like, huh.
Don't see
That's
that every
not-
day.
Those aren't like fish teeth. Huh. She'll smile. Big, toothy, sharp. And she'll take one step back and kind of gesture with a hand. And as she takes a step back away from Evie, that smile still on her face, the rest of you, I would say, Rebecca's probably too far to see the fangs. But Elaine and Nathan can. You guys can roll me sanity checks.
Do I have to? Said I can. Do I have to?
Yes.
This is not a May effect. Are you gonna push it?
Fuck it, we ball tonight.
All right.
Watch,
Okay,
I'm gonna
good.
get a 99. I hope I got a 32.
Okay. You only lose one as well. Elaine. You also going to push it.
I have a really bad feeling about this. I'm gonna, but I don't feel confident.
You don't have to.
No, you do.
No, I want to be part of the cool kids, okay?
Okay.
Good work.
Called it.
Ooh.
Well, it's not a crit fail.
I'm so happy for your loss.
Before you do this, let me write down all these results.
Okay.
Give me like 30 seconds. Sanity check. Everyone pushed.
We all collectively went a little crazy.
I do like that Evie has just seen a fair bit at this point. So I do really feel like it's, that's unusual. Not unexpected, but...
Nathan's just happy he's not being actively hunted at the moment. He's not getting a bed frame flying at him at Mock Jesus.
Mock Jesus! I almost choked on my fucking rice!
Have you never heard Mock Jesus before?
I have not.
God, I love that term so much.
It's such a good term. I very rarely hear it. But Elaine, you're going to be losing 4 sanity.
Yay.
I have a coworker who used to refer to Birkenstocks as Jesus 12s. And I think about that every time I see them.
Jesus.
Okay.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. But there is a... sorry. With a... She uses one hand to gesture towards the table. As she takes one step back away. That smile still on her face. Fang still visible for those close enough. These are typically used in either sacrificial or cleansing rituals. But they can be used for others.
Sacrificial rituals, you say? And how is it exactly that they cut through the bone? Are they perhaps worked in some way? Or perhaps the gold... No, you said it was solid. Evie's brain buzz.
This lady trying to be all creepy and shit, and Evie just completely oblivious. 100% thinking way deeper into it.
Why isn't the sexy vampire routine working?
It's with your one ace character. So you said Evie starts like what, rambling? With questions?
Evie just starts asking a lot of questions about how they're used.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're solid gold, how do you use them without breaking them?
I don't know the exact steps for each of the rituals. But some researchers think that it's used after the victim is dead.
We're gonna
That...
need you to speak up, Amy, because you're cutting out now.
Sorry, my mic shifted because I moved my rulebook closer. No, don't fall. God damn it. Okay.
After the victim is the last thing we got.
Ah, yes. It's typically after the victim is already dead, at least for some of them. And from what I have seen, the removal of the bone is not necessary.
What exactly were these rituals for? They had to be something really important for them to spend all this time and effort into working these particular tools.
Well, like I said before, I'm not an expert on the sacrificial rituals. But presumably for a deity of some kind. Or for good weather for farming. Or even to get rid of curses.
If they're used for good weather, perhaps Boston could use a couple rituals, couldn't it?
You'd think that we would try, but it might be worth doing someday.
You say you want an expert on the sacrificial rituals. Are you expert on some other type of ritual?
I'm more interested in the cleansing rituals that you can do with these. It's a bit unconventional, but they do work if you know what you're doing.
Cleansing rituals?
Cleansing like bathing or cleansing like begone spirit?
I don't suppose these are... Oh, go on.
Again.
I don't suppose these are used in the fashion of perhaps some of those Greek implements used to scrape olive oil off your body.
Something like that. At least a couple of them. But cleansing means more in this context. Removal of pretty much anything. And that's why they are so precious. You can get rid of anything with them.
Evie will continue studying these for a little while, trying to put pieces together in that noggin of hers. Evie will respond to Elaine in French. I do think I heard that as well.
You see that she's kind of just like staring at each of the tools under the glass.
So if these things get rid of stuff, then people made them were awfully concerned about something bothering them, right?
Hmm.
Is it connected to back to that statue thing upstairs? Wasn't there something in the book about cursed lands something?
There was something in the book about that. But that curse is a bit different. That curse is something that is a bit more difficult to get rid of.
If you don't mind my prying, did I miss my guess, or did you say that you had used these before?
You okay?
That
What
was
was
a
the
Z sound, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a Z sound.
You see, she's kind of staring down at all of the artifacts, and she kind of just slowly tilts her head to look at Evie. And why would you think that I have used them before?
Well, earlier you said that they can be used to cleanse all sorts of things if you knew what you were doing. You sounded very authoritative on the matter, not in the academic sense, but in the personal. And between you and I fully understand plumbing the depths of